Hi, my name's Jonny, and today, as a few of you fine folk have been asking, today I am going to be giving you a studio tour update. Let's go and have a look. So if you're from the UK like I am, you'll know that a lot of houses have the little box room, and that is what I have turned into my content creation / music studio. This is where I make 90% of my videos all at home, and yeah, I've just got this little space to work with. So the things that I'm trying to prioritize is space and convenience, so that I can get to creating as soon as possible. If you're new around here, I am a bass guitar content creator, but I also have a job alongside of everything that I do here. So I have to make sure to be as efficient as possible with my time in order to make videos, because this isn't my full-time job. But without further ado, let's have a look at the room. Starting things off on the left-hand side, we have my trusty old guitar rack. This houses, or should house, about 5 guitars, but I've got most of the holes doubling up at the moment. I'll try and do a bit of a bass tour later on, but yeah, my main kind of storage of guitars is here in this rack. Above that though, we have got most of my pedal storage that you'll see on screen, just a random selection of pedals that I have in my collection, and I like to display on the walls using these kind of transparent shelves. Now, like I said, I have to maximize storage space, so on the wall I have this pegboard. As well as looking lovely, it serves as all of my cable storage, as well as a couple of other bits and bobs and tools I use for setting up basses and for just doing general tasks in here. Below that we have my almighty tiny Ashdown stack here, starting off with the 2x10 cab on the bottom and with the mini rig head on top. You can click up in the cards to watch my review of this awesome little amp series. Above that is my Ashdown Rootmaster, which is actually sitting in a custom housing that I had built by Noisy Hammer. I'll try and leave a link in the description for them as well. They do like custom cab and head rebuilds. So this is the Rootmaster that doesn't come with a case or anything like that. So this has been so good. I can't wait to show this off more. This is kind of a secret at the minute. Shh. The eagle-eyed viewers would have seen this, the Gallien-Kruger 1001 RB. And this is actually one of my dream amps. I absolutely love this head. And so when I saw one come up for sale, I jumped at the opportunity to buy one. I will have a video coming out about my dream amps featuring this one here, another head that I borrowed, but you're just gonna have to subscribe and wait for that one, I'm afraid. Most of the stuff on this side of the room is kind of out of shot. I'm a massive Star Wars fan, so of course I have to have the Empire Strikes Back poster, as well as various other bits of art that I've, in quote, collected over the years. Now we move on to probably the main part of the video, as this is my content creation station, and none of this would be possible without today's sponsor, Vernal. As a primary producer of standing desks, Vernal make incredibly high quality desks for your use in your office or your home studio like I've got today. On their website you can see their full range of I-shaped or L-shaped desks, and they've got these laminated desktops with pricing starting at £379. And if you like a bargain, then make sure you use the code on screen to get 6% off your order. If you click the affiliate links down below, I get a nice kickback from any sales that you guys make, which is lovely. Now, why oh why should I get a standing desk? Well, as well as being better for your back, as a musician, I find that I don't always want to be sitting down when playing. I actually really enjoy standing up to try and practice, and it's a whole lot easier to do that when you have a stand-up desk. You can actually select these presets and it will go to the desired height in which you set it. For me as a creator as well, it means that I can actually use the space underneath the desk as storage and use the floor for photography when I need to. Each of the desks comes with this really handy metal sturdy basket to hold all of your cables so that you can minimize the number of cables going off to the floor. They also do these amazing accessory packs where you can really start to organize the cables that are coming off of your various devices. One thing I didn't know that I needed was this really cool cable zip organizer. It's essentially just a little band that wraps around the cables. So here I've got multiple cables all going in one direction, and it means it just creates one essentially slug of cables going off rather than a messy group of cables. With my order, I also decided to get this incredible desk shelf accessory as well. Although perhaps I'm not using this in the more traditional sense like you might, I think that this is really nice to help get some stuff out the way and adds a bit of a cozy vibe to the desk as well. As well as having my phone charger here, the little shelf acts as a place for me to put kind of spare cables and ones that I use often that commonly might get lost without something like this. So if you're thinking about upping your desk game, make sure you click the link in the description to go and check out their products, and don't forget to use the discount code to get 6% off your order. Certainly help to improve my life here, and hopefully it can do the same for you. On my setup, I'm using a MacBook Pro going into my kind of main monitor here. It means that I can edit on the go if I need to, but I'm still able to kind of have that desktop studio feel. The screen itself actually acts as a bit of a USB hub, so everything plumbs into the screen, which then goes into the laptop. So running into here, we've got the Line 6 HX Stomp XL, my MIDI keyboard, the Focusrite 18i8 interface, and my trusty camera. It is a really old Sony a6300, and it's not really let me down. It's got some quirks and some things that I definitely want to upgrade eventually, but it's been really, really good. I use this 1.8 24mm Samyang lens on it, which is really great for a little room like this, enabling me to get fairly wide, but still lots of depth of field and no kind of fisheye lens warping. Now, of course, I have this positioned here for videos as well as podcasting, for which I use this Rode pod mic and also a Rode kind of shotgun mic on one of these boom arms to go above. Lighting me up from above, we have this really not too expensive but really nice quality key light from Elgato. One thing I forgot to mention was these little Rode clamps that I have around. I've got two of these Rode boom arms for my light and my microphone, and what this means is that I can actually be flexible with the positioning of them and move them either over here or further away. The idea here is that everything is connected to the desk so that when I raise and lower it, everything kind of moves with it. Very nice. What else is very nice is that all of this and the charger for this MacBook is on one USB-C. The power in my hands. The other one's just for an SD card reader, which unfortunately didn't work when I plugged it into the back of the screen. But what really did work was the idea that I had for how I actually plug into this thing, because I don't want to have to go direct into here. I want to be able to use the Line 6 HX Stomp, which is, by the way, just sat on a laptop stand. Instead of having to reach back here and plug it in and disrupt everything, I'm actually doing a neat little trick, which I'll show you now. So one of these cables actually goes out round the back underneath the desk and comes over here into this little affordable DI box. Essentially what this enables me to do is just plug my guitar lead into this DI box, which is just held onto the desk with Velcro from the pedal board. Then I'm running a signal out into the HX Stomp and also an XLR out into the Focusrite, so I can record a DI and the Line 6 at the same time. If this has really sped up my content creation, as everything is just one input away to access everything over there. It's really, really simple, affordable to do, and I'd really, really recommend this. I've also got my batteries on charge attached to the desk, so I try and make this like the hub of everything. Before I talk about this side of the room, you'll notice that I don't actually have any studio monitors like most do, and that's because I'm in a semi-detached house and I've got neighbours that I don't want to annoy with low frequency bass sounds. And so I'm mostly kind of doing everything through headphones. But for shots where I don't want headphones and I actually want to be able to hear things, either when I'm editing or when I'm playing, I actually run the output of the Focusrite down across behind here and round into the line in of the Ashdown. I don't really need high quality sound. Not saying that this isn't high quality, but I mean, it's obviously very bassy. I just need to be able to hear something to monitor. So this has been a real godsend recently where I wasn't sure what to do about monitors, and that's really helped things out. So yeah, another little tip for you there. Moving over to this side of the room, I also have a wall rack full of other basses. Now I get a lot of questions about this. This is actually from Etsy. A guy selling them under the name Wallrax. It fits 5 using these Hercules stands, which are really, really sturdy. I put some extra screws in just to make sure that it didn't come crashing down in the night because I was nervous of that. But then I felt the need to extend and put another one, an Openhagen one, just on the wall here so that I could have 6. And the rule was, from my lovely partner, you're only allowed as many that you could fit on the wall. Well, I mean, I kind of broke that rule eventually. Sorry about that. And down below that, I have various storage, including my pedal boards and some extra pedals that I kind of grab on the go. Sat in here is actually a content creation station mobile recording unit in a pedal board. And I'll speak about that maybe in another video or on my Instagram. Hey, Johnny, what's those things on the ceiling? Well, let me show you. This right here is a Vari-pole from Gravity Stands. This has absolutely revolutionized the way that I do some of my content. Essentially, these are poles that go from floor to ceiling and can act as really compact tripods, so you can attach things to them so that you're not taking up any unnecessary space in your room. And because they use pressure to stay up, it means you can also use that same pressure to put them across wall to wall. And I actually use this, if you've seen it in my live streams, to hang a green screen from. They are super, super sturdy, and yeah, I think it's just an absolute no-brainer when it comes to saving space in a small room like this. I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of the basses that we've got in here before we finish up. Starting from left to right, we have the brand new Squier Classic Vibe Telecaster bass, currently strung with flats. Also with flats, we have this beautiful Hofner violin bass. Behind that, we have my currently kind of mid mod project, Ashdown Roasted Saint. Damn, look at that thing. So nice. Oh, and speaking of, my custom Alpha Hammerhead modelled on a G3. Really insane Japanese oddball, the PB555, and then the Fullerton ukulele bass behind it. Heading to the other side of the room, we have my only guitar that I own, which is an affordable HSS Strat copy from Jet. This HSS really suits my needs for recording, as I've kind of got the best of both worlds. But then we go from affordable to very much not affordable, the vintage 1978 Gibson G3. My Fender made in Japan Jaguar bass, which I absolutely love. And then behind that, another made in Japan bass. You can sense a theme here. The Tokai Hard Puncher, which is a precision bass. Then I've got 2 Squier jazz basses behind that, one being an older classic vibe, and then one being the active affinity bass, which I'm going to try and review fairly soon. And this one kind of bulbously sticking out here is the Dunnable Narwhal. This is a dual P pickup, totally passive bass, really, really cool. And then finishing off over here, we've got a Marcus Miller V6 just released, and its headless counterpart, the M6, just behind that. So a bit of similarity between all of these, but also some kind of big differences. I've also got some other basses that aren't here, but I'm not allowed to tell you about those just yet, including this little project bass that we've got going on over here. Well, there we go. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know in a comment down below if you want to see some more behind the scenes content like this, or anything that you want to know, or any questions you have about this very setup. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.